Should the government have any say in our diets? This is a very interesting question because of the background surrounding it. America is the center for the obesity epidemic, and even as far back as President Obama's time in office, when his wife started the war against childhood obesity, this question has been brought up. Could we prevent the obesity epidemic from going any further by allowing the government to mandate what people can and cannot eat? And is that even what the question is asking? This is how I will be attempting to answer it. I will bring up two main points of analysis depending on what have any say is used for. There's the regulation side. Can the government say what can and can't be sold in the United States and therefore have a say in our diets? Or mandates? The government decides what you can and cannot eat. First off, regulations. The government right now has a say in what you eat. It's not obvious. The government isn't coming in and telling you, you can have bread, you can't have cookies. It doesn't work like that. But the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, already exists to regulate what you can and cannot eat. Everything has to be up to code before it can be sold in the United States. You can't have bread with insects in it or dirt in your food. You simply cannot sell it like that. Therefore, the government is ensuring that you aren't allowed to eat insect-ridden food or food that is otherwise not up to code. For this reason, this is very good for public health, and it has been beneficial for years. And for this reason, as long as it means regulations, then yes, the government should have a say in our diets. But maybe that's not how some people might interpret this. The government having a say in our diets could be taken as the government mandating what you can and cannot eat. And that is absolutely, absolutely not good for society. That is a restriction of freedoms in America, and you know how we in America feel about our freedoms. Sure, the government has restricted what you can and cannot eat before, especially in times of wartime. Case in point, World War II. Civilians could only eat certain amounts of supplies like sugar and wheat in order to save some for the soldiers overseas. This, of course, and including the rations that the government gave to the soldiers overseas, was the government controlling what you can and cannot eat. But that hasn't happened since. Not the government seems to not want to control what people eat, A, because the micromanaging involved would be huge, and B, because that's a violation of freedoms. In fact, the government really seems to be against forcing people to put stuff into their bodies. Case in point, the lack of a vaccine mandate so far. Despite many, many people calling for a mandatory vaccine in order to get into certain places or just a vaccine mandate in general, it hasn't happened yet. The government is opposed to forcing you to put something into your system. Why would the government, therefore, why would anyone want the government to control what you can and can't put into your system? That is just hypocritical. And even a slightly less connected point is that June, in fact, is Pride Month. If the government can't control who you wish to marry or who you want to be, the government should stay out of what you can and can't eat. Otherwise, it would simply be hypocritical. America is all about freedoms and allowing people to do whatever they want with their bodies and their lives so long as it doesn't hurt anyone else. For this reason, the government should not force you to eat or to not eat anything. The government cannot mandate that you eat or do not eat something or have any say in your diet for that reason. Overall, we've seen that regulations, sure, that is great for society, great for public health. Making sure you don't have dirt or insects in your food, the FDA regulates that, and that is definitely beneficial. So if that's the case, the government should have a say. But if the question means the government mandates what you can and cannot eat, well, that is a restriction of freedom and hypocritical. Thank you.